LTC, we start with 1 hour chart. Just I want to give a quick update. First of all, if you refer to my last analysis, we have been looking for the, I mentioned with the break, if the price break 167.5, we can expect the price drop to 152. As we can see, after the price dropped to 152, we see the reversal. Because if you refer to my last analysis, since the price was within this correction, I mentioned if I get any opportunity for buy, we are going to look for buy. That's why I mentioned I'm more interested to buy rather than the sell. And I mentioned the sell is a short term. And based on 1 hour chart, if you put this loan relative to the previous one, and if you refer to the indicators, we see we had a divergence. That's why, and that's why we could look for buy. And if you wanted to look for buy, the first and the best opportunity, this is where we have been looking for. And for those traders, they get a trade from here, because if we put our fib here, because we have seen usually we have been looking for the 27 and 61% as a targets, and even we see that there was a breakout of the 61, which is the second take profit. All right, and right now for traders, if they want to keep the trade, at least move their stop loss to break even. But if they take out the trade, is good for them, or they can at least take out half of the trade and the rest move their stop loss in the break even. And there was opportunity for the second one from here, and whoever get the trade from here, at least move their stop loss to break even. Because even based on 1 hour chart, if you put this stop in relative to the previous one, if we refer to the indicators, we see we have a divergence. So we cannot rely on this divergence for the reversal, but we need to be quite careful. Anyway, we move to daily chart. You want to see what we have based on daily chart. And as we can see, based on daily chart, if since the price was within this correction, I mentioned with the best is we get one more drop. This is what we get. And right now we have three waves structure, which is we cannot call it ABC, because if we want to call this one as a ABC, we should have a divergence. Okay, because usually when we have a three waves, we call it ABC with a divergence, we can look for reversal. But right now the question is whether we should, this is the start of the up move, or we can expect to get like one more correction before we get the next drop, then we get the reversal. That means we have a second option, which is we can expect to get the internal flat, which is the running flat. All right. Since, as I mentioned, we don't see ABC, still we can expect to get one more drop before we get the reversal. That's why we need to be quite careful. May this one turn to a correction similar to what we have here, and may the price give us one more drop. That's why for those traders, they get the trade based on 1 hour chart, at least move their stop loss to break even if they want to keep the trade. And how about if we move to forward chart? We have nothing to discuss based on forward chart. The only thing is if there is a breakout of 167.5, we can look for 170 and following by 176. We want to see if the price entered this zone, and mostly if we see the breakout of this zone, then this is the start of the up move. That means we are not going to look for one more before we get the down move. All right, now we want to see whether the price can enter this zone or not. That means if you want to trade within this range, any trade is, we can take based on either 1 hour or 15 minutes, and we consider as a short-term trade. All right, and right now we don't see any trade setup. And how about if I move to 1 hour chart? All right, I don't think since we get this short move, and even if we want to consider this one as a flag, the best thing is we wait another 2 to 3 hours. Then maybe we can put our entry above the top. And since we see the breakout and the price tag 167.5, this is where we move our stop loss to break even. All right, but we need to be quite careful. Simply the price can tag and drop. That's why if we get any trade by having entry above this, within the first or second hours, if we don't see the continuation, we are not going to keep the trade. That's why I prefer to wait another 2 hours at least. Okay, but doesn't mention any trade within this range, you consider as a short-term trade. The only option, update for this analysis is for those traders, they get the trade from here. Right now, they need to start to manage, either move their stop loss to break even if they want to keep the trade, or take out in the profit. Anyway, we just follow the chart. If I see any update, I will share. Thanks.